Talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We really do appreciate it, and we want to appreciate our sponsor even more because this is like the last day. I mean, this is our last show for this year, right? Yeah, that's right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're gonna have
my show. For my
next
show.
week is Christmas, so you're gonna have a show next week.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for
you just told me. You just told me over the phone because your next show won't be till Wednesday, so we need to have a show today.
But next Wednesday isn't the next year.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
New Year's is on a Monday.
New Year's is on a Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still the. When will this month ever end?
You know what's crazy about that? Cindy is a mama, right? So mamas know about Christmas. So clearly what happens after the 25th, she blacks out.
Amen, brother.
she
That's so
just
true.
black out until school starts back up again. And it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like Christmas and the next day it's New Year's. Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
so true.
I'm a listener at this point, and I'm confused. Is this the last show of the year or not, guys? Because
Cindy does this all the time to me, where
I need to know.
She will tell me something.
Crystal.
And then she'll text me 15 times before we're supposed to do something, and I'm like, wait, what are we originally doing? Because you've gone 9 different directions, which there's only supposed to be 2 directions. Either you have a show or not have a show. But somehow there's 9 different ones.
Okay. I was thinking that Christmas is Monday. Is this coming Monday?
That is correct.
Okay. So that finishes off the year. But that's not right because we have New Year's. So we do have like 4 more days before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I even told you this. I'll be here the day after Christmas. So if you wanted to do a show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I will be here.
Okay.
It's not what he told me, by the way.
But listen.
Well, I told him I don't want to deal with him.
There you go. I need a break from you. I'm doing audience of one show.
No, actually, no. We record on Mondays. So Christmas is Monday. So it was like, all right, what do you want to do? So we just pre-record our shows today.
Yeah, we made a promise to the onesies we would not skip a show during the holiday season. So we were in here doing a double power hour filming and recording shows that will air over the next 2 weeks. So that's why I'm here.
For the
audience of one show, and that's why
I'm one every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
infiltrating your show once again. My apologies. Sorry about that.
And if you find yourself in a situation where you have to donate to one show,
oh no.
The Cindy Cochran Show is the
Cindy
one to
Cochran
go.
Show,
Way to go. Yeah, that's right.
It's sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group, who does all financial planning for all walks of life. That's what I've learned, all walks of life. Doesn't matter how much money you have in your pocket. They probably prefer you to have a lot of money in your pocket, but they don't just treat the high life people. They treat everybody. It's all about financial planning with Wootton Financial Group. Contact information can be found below. So if you want more information, I think it's wootonfinancial.com, or you can call them at a phone number that I'm looking up right now. And
936.
Man, okay. Facebook screwed it up. Give me a second. 936-449-5952.
Woot woot. That's it.
Woot woot. Ton.
Wootton.
Financial.
Oh, he's got the. Oh, that would be so cool. We need to do a.
It could be an owl too,
Yeah, we do.
but
need
it's
to
woot
do.
woot.
Okay,
Or just a girl at a bar at like 12. Woo woo. Yeah, cheering over just about randomly anything.
When's the last time you were in a bar, Cindy?
At 12.
At
midnight.
12?
Yeah, let's go
Midnight?
midnight. Yeah.
When's the last time you were at a bar?
You got okay. That reminds me. Then, are you going to do anything at midnight on New Year's? I can barely hear myself.
No. No, we
no.
make
You
it-
got any plans?
Turn it up. You turn it. There's a knob.
I hear everyone else except for myself, bro. I know how it works.
we will.
We're good.
We'll get
got
under
it.
the old mistletoe and kiss. And,
Ew.
And
She
do
talking?
that kind
You
of
talking to
stuff.
Andrew about this?
No.
He said, "What are y'all gonna? What are you gonna?
What are her
be
plans?
doing
I was asking
at
if she was going to be at a
midnight?"
bar at midnight
No.
on New Year's. She said no, but she
I
is
am.
going to. She is going to get
I'll
the
be shirtless
mistletoe.
too.
You're gonna be what?
I'm gonna be shirtless.
I thought that's what you said. Oh my.
Yeah, we're seeing
word.
metal bands. So you got to be shirtless with a metal band.
That's
playing.
true.
Are you really?
Sure.
Yeah,
What are you going to? What show are you seeing?
I'm not letting anyone know what I'm doing on the radio,
I imagine I can look up.
but I'm gonna go see a metal band.
I'll look
You
it up.
are so
I'll figure it out.
egotistical. You think if you let people know what you're doing, that they'll all try and be at that bar at that time.
It's happened
to see
before,
you
so I don't
shirtless.
want to give it a chance.
Wait a minute. It happened before. Tell
Yeah.
that story. I want to hear
Well, it
that
wasn't that
story.
big of a deal. It was like I think I was talking about an opening of something. I'm like, I'm gonna go check this out. And one person goes, "Hey, you're Dick," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." This is creepy.
Stop accosting me.
Did
And
they
thanks for recognizing me.
didn't have an A in front of it? It just said, "Oh, you're."
You're Dick.
And you never know.
That was
you
a
know,
good joke there, Cindy.
I can't say that.
You must
name.
have taken all your medication today.
No, I haven't taken it yet, so we need to be real careful with me because I may just flip out and do something really strange.
Nick, for great,
So-
compelling radio.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so anyway, hey, did you hear about the 3 presidents of Ivy League schools sitting down in front of Congress?
Oh, my God.
And they
Yes,
couldn't
I did.
answer the question about the hate speech.
Why would
Yes.
you? That's such a loaded question. I would have been like, no comment.
Yeah, I don't know if they could have said no comment or not. But
No.
yes, I did
They
hear
can't
all about
force
this.
you to talk. You'll go to jail, but they can't force you to.
Well, the one that really should have said nothing and said I take the 5th or something is the one that they tried to fire, but the board said no, we're not going to fire. We're not going to do that. And then they find out, it opened up the can of worms of the plagiarism and all that stuff that she's now having to fight. So I think she should have probably not even shown up that day. That was bad because I know y'all never plagiarized. Did you go to college?
I did.
Did you go to college? Yes, he did. Okay, so you never play.
I'm picking my
are you
nose.
doing?
Chill out.
You're on the.
No one can see me on camera. I had to pick my nose. And they really got in there. I went the opposite way I wanted it to go. I was like, oh, gosh, darn it. That's why I had to sit down and get low, so I didn't want y'all just looking at me. And Andrew's acting all professional and not trying to smile at all. He's just like,
I didn't see it. Sorry. I was looking at Cindy.
Thank you, Andrew.
Glad I was.
Appreciate that.
yeah, shoot.
Well, it was just.
I thought she was talking about getting you under a mistletoe, bro. I was sitting there going like, what is Cindy talking about?
No.
But Cindy, so these people,
Yeah.
they just didn't want to say yes or no. They wanted to give like roundabout questions.
They did.
Answers and
They.
stuff.
It was so sad. It was really sad, and so I think that it was. They all should have been fired. I agreed with the girl that was questioning them.
You know how hard it is to
They should
fire
all be
people
fired.
these days?
It is difficult, but they should have resigned. They all should have resigned. Is what they. It would have been a good thing for them to do.
You think
And
people
so,
go to Harvard have honor?
But no, they don't.
They don't.
No, they don't even know what's going on out in the streets. I mean, they really don't understand it. And then she shows up that night at a Christmas tree lighting, and was so sweet and just wanting to connect with people and make them feel good
I
about
think
her.
they had to go back, or at least one of them did, and restate some of their positions on certain things because I think the aftermath.
There was a follow-up tweet.
Yeah, exactly. The aftermath, the fallout of their basically circumventing answering those what appeared to be fairly simple questions backfired. I think there were probably some large donors that said, I think you may need to walk back what you said or reframe what you said a little bit different, because there were a lot of mea culpa after that. I don't know if you're aware.
I don't know if I'd ever want to be in a position where I donate that much money to a college.
I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Feel
that.
obligated to call them and be like, hey, I saw what you said. I didn't like it. You better change your tone or I won't give you money.
When it comes to things like religion and politics, yeah.
Well, how are
it
you
can.
a good person doing that, though? You're controlling someone's speech with your money. So they must be already bad people that go to Harvard. So who cares? Harvard sucks. They'll burn.
Shut up. Oh, my goodness. The church that I worked at doing construction, production, I was talking to them about things that they, certain topics that they would preach out of the Bible. They never preached something that would probably get them where they're what they get from the government cut off, And I said, this is the deal, is when you're beholding to the government because you're stepping back from being, telling the truth, what the Bible says. If you told them everything the Bible says, you probably would get in trouble. But that's the point, right? And they said, well, we'll have to think about it, Cindy. I don't know if that's going to be really possible to happen because, we get a lot of good tax exemptions and all that stuff. I said, but, you're in bed with them, doing that kind of stuff. So I see that the donorship, just like the sponsor, I would never say anything bad about Chris Wootton. I don't care what anybody said to me or told me a story about. I would never say anything about it, Chris Wootton, because he's our sponsor, and I want him to be happy. But I don't know, though, that if it may cross the line sometime if somebody said something really bad about him to us and gave us a scandal sheet.
Well, that's why we only deal with sponsors that are angels.
And you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it.
Right. This guy is
now,
so good.
Now, hosts, on the other hand, I'm always kind of weary. I'm like, oh, this is going to backfire, letting this person have a show down the line.
Oh, who would that be with?
Huh. Let me think.
I was on Johnny Carson. Okay, so anyway,
I don't know if Andrew knows that joke.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've heard the story. I've heard
it's
the
not
story.
a joke. It's not.
No, I wanted you to see if I could get you to tell it again.
No, yeah, I've heard the story.
And watch him lip sync me while I do tell the story.
Help me out here though, because I didn't follow that story that well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why would they have 3 presidents or deans or chancellors or whatever you want to call them? Now, is this something like a nationwide? Because Harvard's a private school, isn't it?
Okay, so what had occurred was protests on several college campuses against Palestinian students and Jewish students.
So both sides.
Both sides. And they at times got a little bit heated with the Palestinians essentially claiming death to the Jews, right?
They've been heated for a long time.
And so the colleges allowed this to go on, essentially. And so they were brought before Congress to say, hey, why did you allow these types of protests to go on at your school? And their answer was, hey, it's freedom of speech, essentially. They weren't making direct threats at an individual person, but they're free to say this about general populations of people. That was sort of the way they got out of it. And I mean, to a degree, I agree with that statement at a general premise. The problem is they likely would not be consistent with it in other scenarios like this.
Yeah,
that's the problem I have with it.
See, when she said, would it be okay if people were saying the same thing about black people? If they were saying things like from the river to the sea, they want to annihilate all the black people, would you think that was okay with your policy in hate speech and whatever? No, of course not.
That's what I'm saying. It's not consistent.
No, that's right. But that was a really milquetoast.
Is there really footage
Andrew
of
was
this?
being-
Because I kind of want to see the footage of people. Because I know, like over there in the Middle East, there are videos of their government saying "Death to America" and stuff. But I want to now. I got to look at this stuff.
You mean you don't think they're saying it on the campuses of
Well, I
these
think they're saying all
colleges?
sorts of stuff on campuses, but I also think that
she kept saying, this is what her answer was, it depends. It depends on the context. And this congressperson said, what's the context when you say death to the Jews and they all need to be eliminated? Because that's what they were talking about, the genocide of the Jews.
Correct.
So,
I said the same thing about people who like sweet pickles.
You did. He did on our show. He
Yeah.
did call for the death of everyone who likes sweet pickles.
'Cause that-
Similar story, Dick. Very yes. Thank you for relating it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good,
I got to give my opinion on everything.
good
man.
comparison. Yes, he sits there like Muhammad. I'm going to tell you all this.
Now
this good stuff.
listen to this blessing I give you.
Yes. Oh boy.
I mean, that's crazy to me though. Like, imagine trying to go to school, and then
Yeah.
like people are talking about hurting each other, and you're like, "Whoa, bro, pump the brakes."
Well, that's the problem is that they were getting so fired up that they wanted to. Well, they went to the airport because in Germany they went to the airport because there was Jewish people coming in from someplace, and it was going to be a lot of Jewish people on this airplane, and they came to the airport and was trying to find them, and they were trying to find where they had put the Jewish people because they were going to get them, and it was scary. I mean, I can't imagine. And walking on the streets of New York and what they have to put up with and the harassment and all that, and so for these people not to come out and really condemn that.
Or they could have easily said any
That
speech
talk.
in that regard is, not tolerated. There you go. You don't have to say specifically the Palestinians.
Well,
you
they
can
wanted-
say none of that's allowed, and we'll stop it. There you go. And then when you get to campus, you basically say everyone go to their dorms. No one's coming out until school starts.
Yes, there you go. That would shut it all down, don't you think, Andrew? All they have to do is that.
And then you have to put your hand over your heart and recite the United States Pledge of Allegiance over
Yeah.
and over and over.
That's. Should we just ignore? Sometimes just ignore. Oh, is that what
But
you
thank
do?
you for the recap. I really had no
Yeah,
idea.
no, there's a lot to it, and like I said, generally at its very base, what they said I tend to agree with. Right? They're saying it's free speech. I get that. My problem is it just wouldn't be applied consistently, and it's about consistency. But that's about as deep as I'll go into it.
Well, that's what the free speech and in screaming fire in a theater is that you do that and you can cause people to get hurt and and all that stuff. That's why that's really I don't think that's strange. You shouldn't do that either. But this is something that's on a college level, and these professors are also stirring the pot as well. And it makes me sick to know that any money from the government goes to somebody like that has no more, a better moral compass than that. It was terrible.
Well, it sounds like they just don't have a solution for it because they're like, what do we do? Arrest them? Do we kick them out of school? Do you suspend them? Do you give them a thing on their notes on their bio, but like they want to kill the Jewish people?
Well, as the donors started lining up to not donate to the school anymore and not be their sponsors, then that kind of gets the attention of the board and says, "Okay, we've got to roll this back."
It has nothing to do with the government. Why does the government get involved?
Well, because the government gives them a lot of money. They have a lot of tax
Compared to the
exemptions.
donors?
Compared to the donors?
Yeah.
No, but they couldn't sustain themselves without.
I'm pretty sure
what's coming
Harvard's.
from
I think Harvard's doing all right without the government. I'm pretty sure.
Well, this would make it worse for them. This would make it difficult for them. They wouldn't want to. They would not want.
The government holds a grudge.
No, the government's probably on their side.
I mean, think
the
about-
government was not saying they shouldn't, and they didn't say that they should resign or anything like that. They were really quiet on the whole thing.
They just gave a stage. They prepped the stage because that's where we're watching it, right? These people who are asking the questions aren't the donors; it's our government representatives.
But they're
right?
the government representative. Congress is the one that has the purse strings. So if they say, "Okay, there's no more money going to these colleges,"
I think Harvard's fine. I think if the government pulled out and said we're not giving you money, I think Harvard's like, yeah, cool. We already have like $80 billion endowment. We're good. We just won't give you any more presidents.
No, they were getting worried because they started these huge donors said no more.
That's donors,
no more
not
money.
the government.
But I'm saying is if the government pulls out, you have no more tax exemptions and all of that, and then these donors start pulling out, you gotta
I get it.
pay attention. You know,
I think it's interesting.
It's yeah.
They're pretty smart over there at Harvard, though, so they should be able to figure it out.
Well, you'd think they were, but it wasn't.
Maybe they're too smart. What does your mom always say? You're too smart for.
Your own good.
Your own good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's very good. Good.
It's wise. See, blessed with my knowledge.
Okay, now this is kind of political, but
That's fine. It's fine. Go for it, Cindy. I'll allow you to do it.
Okay.
Just so you know, I have the authority.
To cut me off anytime. Yeah. So watch his finger where it goes. Anyway, so
I didn't know this is what we were going to talk about when I agreed to come on the show. I feel like I got hoodwinked here.
Is it really that
I thought we were
going to
have
to you?
No, I just thought we were going to have fun and frivolity. This is Ask Me Anything, and she's like, "Let's talk about the Palestinians and the Hamas and the Jewish people," and I'm like, "Oh God!"
And the presidents.
Yeah.
Andrew, what do you think about it? Oh, jeez.
You know what I love about this politics stuff and how crazy it is imagine you are like the nephew.
Wow.
Imagine if you're like the nephew, Cindy. I'm going to show the whole world what you're doing.
Okay,
right there.
okay, no.
So imagine you're the nephew and you find out your uncle is running for president, and you're sitting there going like, "Oh, great! That means I'm probably going to be judged, like what I do."
Yeah, you get drug along,
Like
no doubt.
Like it's kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
same with the children of people or political politicians.
That's
Sorry,
really
I can't
weird
talk.
to me.
Yeah, they get drug into all that stuff, and it's not like they don't want to half the time.
Well, if anything, what they should do, what I would do immediately, if
I don't know where you're going with
So
this.
No. Well, if I was my uncle was running, I would call like famous people and like, how do you hide your kids? Because I want to hide myself. Because a lot of those famous people, you don't know they have kids, you don't know what they're doing, like Brad Pitt's and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, what system are y'all doing?
I have a story about that I heard about recently. Did you know? Speaking of famous people and their children and trying to hide them, did you know that Frank Sinatra's son was kidnapped
Yes.
Back
I
in the
did.
day,
back in the 60s, 50s,
Maybe.
50s?
yeah, mafia stuff
Like
probably.
50s. Yeah. That.
And he paid $240,000 ransom to get him back. And I don't think he ever did, right?
He got his son back. He never got the money back.
Okay, he
but
did get his son back. So
yeah.
he paid $240,000, which is the equivalent of like $200 million today. I mean, that's a ton of cash. But he always, before he got his son back, apparently he always carried dimes in his pocket at all times to make a phone call, or if they said, hey, you have the opportunity to talk to your son, he had the dimes in his pocket to make a phone call to him.
How long was that going on for?
Apparently went on for a long time. I had no idea. Isn't that crazy?
It's funny. My mind immediately went, he owed that money, and they're like, hey.
It's possible.
Because that
That's a
200
lot.
Did you pay
But
taxes?
No, $240,000 is very specific.
It is a specific amount of money.
So, yeah,
think he
I
may
think
have
he
owed-
because didn't he work with the mafia at the very beginning of his career? Wasn't that kind of
the
his
mafia
tie?
was one of the, who helped
Fund
him
him.
in the entertainment business.
Yeah, so they probably owed it. And one guy's like, "You owe me money," and we're the mafia. We break legs as a warning. That's a warning, not like.
Yeah.
And their warning to him was, "We're going to kidnap your son."
It was a huge deal because Frank Sinatra was the man. He
is the man.
Extremely
He's still the man.
popular.
December 8th, 1963. That's probably why I heard about it, because it's December and that story came back up. A pair of former high school classmates from Los Angeles decided to make a quick path of fortune, if not fame, and kidnap the son of Old Blue Eyes. Isn't that crazy?
That is so. I remember that. I was only 5 at the time, but I remember that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of. I mean, has the president's kid ever been kidnapped? I feel like that's plot of like 9 different movies I've seen.
Yeah, movies,
That's a
sure.
plot of a movie. Oh, yes. That's.
But I never, because that happens all the time in other countries. I imagine, because we're number one. We never let that happen.
Well, this is something you may not know. Okay, all right. This is now. Have you heard that Colorado? What did you hear about Colorado and their Supreme Court?
Oh, Trump's not going to be on the ballot or something?
Oh, God, we're back to politics. Yeah, Trump is not allowed on the ballot there, and that is actually a really big story, I would think, because if someone who is the leading candidate for his party's nomination for president not allowing to be allowed on the ballot in a certain state, that's big.
Has it ever happened before?
I don't know.
Never happened before. But listen to this: is that what we don't know is we didn't read the fine print that their Supreme Court put in this handed
Is it
what they handed
dissertation?
down.
Is that what it's called?
So it said in there that if the Supreme Court gets a what do you call it? Oh,
A
no,
ruling?
Wait, no. They're waiting for Trump's lawyers to put this in as a
Injunction? I'm thinking
I know.
law
I think
terms.
of all the legal terms, and I can't think of this legal term. But if they say if the Supreme Court gets this from the lawyers, that they will stay that. They'll stay that until the Supreme Court makes a decision.
Yeah.
So it's not a done deal or in any way. It's just the state Supreme Court.
I'm glad you read the fine print, Cindy, finally.
No, I didn't. Michael Berry read that
Oh.
and started talking on the radio,
reliable.
and he said, "This is so amazing because none of the news people have no one has said that he's couldn't be taken off of there because they're waiting for the Supreme Court to see if they
I like it.
decide they're not
Let's
going to
change it up.
So I'm so impressive that one of our radio people found out what this. They read the whole thing. They read the whole charge and all that stuff, and so
That's
and the
kind of what he
reason why-
does, though.
What?
That's kind of what he does,
Who?
Michael Berry.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so.
It's good. That was good. That was great because
I don't think he
he
was
said,
the only one.
I think everybody.
I think the lawyers knew too, and that's why.
Well, I mean, I'm sure lawyers, they've got to put an appeal in. They have to appeal this
So
before January
it was
the
a law
4th.
term. Okay.
Before January 4th, if they appeal that to the Supreme Court in Colorado, I mean, not in Colorado, in Washington, then the Supreme Court in Colorado has to stay their decision.
That's kind of funny though. If you think about it, it all depends on someone filling out paperwork. It's like if they don't submit this piece of paper by January 4th.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of interesting, but it would have been really interesting if it was a state that Trump won in 2020, right? But this is a state that he lost by more than 13 percentage points to Biden in 2020. So, and since we're not going off popular election anyways, or popular vote, it's just the Electoral College, it may not really hurt him. Now, if other states that are more red, like say Texas or Oklahoma, follow suit, which is not likely, but let's just pretend here.
But they're trying.
Then it's gonna be kind of interesting. But
They have brought it up, and they're
Yeah,
trying.
Texas announced that they're saying if
to
they
take
do
it
it,
off.
then we're going to
Cindy's head is going to pop off if
And
you say
the
that.
reason,
No, take Biden off.
Oh,
Do
Biden.
you
no,
know-
he's-
Do you know why the reason is that they want to take him off of the?
Because we have a bigger stick.
No. Why they want to take him off of the ballot? Why do they want to take him off?
Insurrection.
The ballot? Yes, he's an insurrectionist. He's never
I
been
love it.
charged. He
Wouldn't
hasn't
that
been
be a-
charged with it. They have not had a trial on it or anything like that. So they're going by what they think may happen is that he may be charged with
The
it.
only
So-
thing Trump needs to do is become a general, and then he'll just be George Washington
Well, he's
all
going
over
to be
again,
dictator
right?
day one. He said.
That's what he said.
That's right. He said he's going to be a dictator for day one. That's it. Just day one. And he's going to get all this stuff done he needs to get done and then go back to being the lovable guy that he is.
I mean, cool.
He said that in a town hall
In
meeting.
a jest, probably. Was he serious?
No, he was kidding, but of course that's all they took was that one.
All
All
right,
right,
clip.
Cindy.
Said-
So, what is your prediction here as we sit on December 21st in the year 2023, with the election only about 10 months away, right? Something like that.
yes.
Who do you think our next president of the United States will be? If you
Donald-
were a betting woman,
Donald J. Trump.
you think he's going to make it, huh? You
Oh,
think he's going to
sure.
do it? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
He'll pardon himself and he'll say pardon me and then
Oh,
walk
man,
up.
yeah.
He already did that joke.
No, I didn't.
No, he did. Donald Trump did that.
Oh, okay.
That was a really good
He
joke.
did
when
that-
did
he
it.
did
So,
that
are you
with
willing
Hillary
to put
Clinton.
down a wager with Dick? I think you guys should do some
Okay.
sort of radio
I got
bet.
All right, I'll go
$20.
for whoever's going against him. I'll take that bet.
What if it's Biden?
See how I weasel my
fine.
way out of being involved in it because I want nothing to do with it. But I'll set
Well,
it up.
I don't really have an option. I have to choose the other person.
No, I guess you. Well, yeah, you just say it's not going to be Trump, right?
Yeah.
Trying to make this fun.
No, okay. We'll have to come back and play this again. We'll play this part
Right.
again.
Right, but what's the
And-
bet? You just said $20. That's boring. You gotta do something.
You want to do cash? You want to gamble? Did I
No,
hear
I'm
that?
just
Did
trying
you
to
really
give you-
say $20? Did she really say $20?
If you win, Cindy, if Trump becomes president, Dick has to reveal on air what has occurred to his body because of wearing headset all these years.
I'm balding.
Dang it! I was trying to find something that you may not want to admit on the air.
I don't care about that kind of. I mean, it's again, I don't judge people the way they look. I know I look all right.
So right before we went on air, full disclosure, everyone listening, Dick decided to drop the nuclear bomb that he is balding in the spot where his headset has been rubbing for all these years,
Yeah.
and I think that's
like it's like a straight. It's,
It's like a
literally
straight-
it's like a line.
is your mom's dad bald? Because if he is, then it's genetic.
Well,
Probably.
he was bald when I met him, but he was also in
then
his
that could
70s.
that could
so.
just be natural too.
Oh no, I know it's natural to lose your hair, but I just thought it was kind of funny that it was like in the straight line.
Yeah.
Where it rests, because it goes. I was like, man, that's kind of makes sense if you wear a headset every single day.
Yeah.
Well,
For
Yep.
5+ hours.
Imagine all the people that you just totally made feel like I will never get in radio because I'm not losing any of my hair, and I'm not.
Well, you
gonna
don't even
do
wear a
that.
headset. That's why I didn't want you to wear a headset.
Well, yeah.
The doors to get into radio these days have never been smaller.
No, but
so I don't think you have to worry
But
about pushing
legitimately, I'm
anybody
going
out.
to get I'm getting monitor headphones.
Yeah.
So
Monitor
yeah,
headphones.
they make certain. They're like basically what the musicians wear when they're playing.
Oh, cool.
So it's just I'm just gonna get those, and I don't have to put it on my head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't want to mess up that coif.
No, you really don't.
I mean,
Look at it.
because
It's beautiful.
women judge people like that, and I can't
No.
be bald
They do,
because
no.
I have scars all over my head, and I have moles. So I'm gonna look like a radioactive beast.
Why would you even reveal that? Because then I have to picture that. Let's see. Where were those moles?
Man, I was trying to find something that would embarrass him, and apparently not.
I'm
He
not
didn't get
ashamed of my
embarrassed.
body, but I know it doesn't look good when you have moles and scars in your head. People think they start asking. I don't want people asking questions about like what I do in my life. It's,
Yeah. So if you we had a headband on all this time, and that
people think you have cancer or
that's-
something.
well, no, or they think that you've been wearing headbands like girls wear. Like that's
Do girls still wear headbands?
of course.
I think I
course they
maybe
do.
see like that is not a fashionable thing today to wear those headbands.
Yeah, they still wear them, man.
Now I'm talking about like the ones that go in the back of the head, not like a headband like when you're working out.
no,
and
not
stuff.
like let's get
There's
physical.
there's variations of that. Look,
Yeah.
it's still going on. I see. it.
Well, like maybe on 5-year-old girls because the mom dresses them up. Like, oh, she looks cute with her headband. on.
This dad had to take care of 2 girls because the mother had left earlier, and so he was going to have to dress them. And she went to school and she came back and she had tie wraps,
Like the wire,
Tie wrap.
like on pizza bread, like on the bread thing.
Yes, like for the ponytails. And you tell the
I mean that
dad
makes
had
sense.
done that.
That
It was kind
of makes sense. I'm surprised it wasn't Velcro or something.
It was kind of smart because this is brilliant.
Or zip tie would have been hilarious.
Zip tie, yes.
Zip tie. Why did I say tie wrap? Anyway, this is so smart. My husband did this for me because I kept losing my key. He said, "Do you think this would help you where you wouldn't lose the key?" And I said, "I don't know. I thought this is stupid looking, but it's great because you can put it on while you're putting the groceries in, and you don't lose it.
Look
Don't
at
know where the
this.
key is."
Changed your life. Way to go,
Yeah, look
Sam.
at
More
that.
ways than
It did.
one.
It was-
Wow.
It
Brilliant.
was
What a
great.
husband.
Well, I'm just saying.
Next, you know what he's going to do. He's going to put the big, huge flowers on the end of the pin so she doesn't lose pins, too, like they do at the grocery store.
No, I already know what happened.
Those are so.
I already know how this occurred. He was having a good conversation with Chris Wootton, going over their financial plan. And Chris is like, hey, if there's a way we can get rid of this little side note where you're spending $500 a year on keys for Cindy because she loses them so many times, if you could do that, you're going to be okay. And he's like, oh, I got to solve this problem. If we don't get rid of this, we're not going to have enough money in the future.
That's
So,
not
Cindy,
true.
did Dick tell you what I
Did
got him
Richard
for
tell
Chri-
me what?
Did Richard tell you what I got him for Christmas?
You got him something?
Of course.
Oh, great. Set a precedent like that.
Well,
yeah.
that's what we do on Audience of One. We shower each other with gifts, except it only goes one
Oh,
way,
no.
one direction. Dick, would you like to? I guess you haven't told her yet, have you?
So you already know
No.
what it is?
Well, yeah, we
It's
we
not
opened him up on air. It was great.
Did you have a little party?
Yeah,
every show's a party.
We actually had a Christmas party without you. I'm glad you know that now.
I never have been invited to it. I mean, I've been worked with this guy for how many years? And we
Cindy, don't worry about
never
it. We didn't
had
have a Christmas party. Don't worry about it.
party.
No, he gave me a wonderful gift.
What? What was it?
It was a calendar because so many people use calendars these days.
It's less about the calendar
And it
and
is
more about the
12
content.
months. It's 12 months of dogs.
12 months of dogs.
Yeah, pictures
Yeah.
of dogs.
Yeah.
That's so
And
sweet.
and they're pooping.
There weren't any pretty girls. It was just all
and
dogs.
they're pooping.
And they're
And what I love about it is I looked at it and I go, this is awesome. And I started opening. I opened it and I started looking at it and I was like, "Do you know it's actually showing the butthole?" And he didn't know that. And he was like, "Well, I didn't know it was going to show everything."
I didn't know it when I purchased it. I knew it after I got it, and I looked at it and said, oh, no, this is actually really vulgar. So it is a 12-month calendar of dogs in various states of relieving themselves, and I thought it was pretty funny. They are, a few of them are mid-flight.
They're great.
But what is really interesting, and I think this says so much about Dick, he loved it. Like, more so than I ever could have anticipated. He's like, this is the best gift I've ever gotten. And so that made me feel great. But then I was really worried about him. I'm like, what kind of gifts are you getting that this is the best gift you've ever gotten? Well, but I'm so glad that it hit.
That is
I'm
right
so
da-
glad that it hit.
What I love is right down my alley.
It is.
Because one
And
thing,
when I saw it, I immediately thought of you. So.
like I always imagine what my house would like if I had my own, like I decorated because I'm not a decorated person, but I always like that kind of stuff because people don't really see. They see, it's a calendar, cool. But then if they start looking at it, they're like, wait a second. Is that
the dog is pooping.
Is that pooping dog?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have puppies, like puppies pooping. So it's a different consistency. It's like really great. And
That's
then
true.
And it's again.
You're welcome. Again,
it's one of the greatest gifts. I immediately took it to my buddy's house, and we're gonna put it up in the saloon.
Yes, it's
because that's where
perfect.
people are
No.
gonna appreciate it.
I thought for sure he put it up in the dining room in his house.
No.
That would be perfect.
No.
That's across the line, Cindy.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's too much.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no, I want people to appreciate it, and that's appreciation right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I-
there's the bar where we sit to get him presents. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I mentioned if you were a gambling person, have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Oh, many times. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like it? Are you a fan of Las Vegas?
Yeah. It was.
I mean, you've
hot,
been many
though.
times. Well, yeah, depending on what time of year you go.
Yeah.
In the dead of summer, it's gonna be like 115, 120 degrees.
Ridiculous.
Now, where did you normally stay when you went?
Let me see. Stayed at the.
Are you like one of the downtown kind of people where you go to the old school downtown, or you go to the Strip now?
I went to the. One time I went there, and I went to the place down. I went past downtown Vegas, and on the outskirts of there, it's a real dangerous place to go. I didn't know that. I just said, "What's the cheapest place that I could stay?"
Well, typically, in the cheapest places are going to be closer to the dangerous places. I have a feeling, Cindy.
Yes, and they don't have much to offer, so you need to stay. I had a
Pay the extra $10 so you don't get mugged next time.
right. I found that out real quick. No, it was real quick. I found out this isn't the place I need to be. I need to go to the Circus Soleil or whatever.
So, what is your game of choice? Are
My-
you playing slots, or are you sitting down playing roulette, craps?
Do you think she gambles?
This is the AMA. I'm sticking true to the bit here. This isn't Ask Me Anything, and you guys are over here talking about freaking politics. I'm like, no.
And
This
dogs
is-
pooping.
This is Ask Me Anything, so I'm asking her anything. What's your game of choice? Are you a craps girl, or are you playing blackjack, Texas Hold'em? What are you doing?
No, I don't know how to play card
Please don't
games.
say penny slots.
What?
Please don't say penny slots. You're gonna say slots, right?
No, I do the slots. The slots. See?
Slots. Correct. Mhm.
And
Lots
so
of slots.
the slot machine, and that's about it.
Okay.
But I give myself here's $20.
She's
$20.
No,
$20
she's hesitant because
So let me ask you this. This is yet again another question.
I don't have a problem with it.
When's the last time you went to Las Vegas? Because $20 these days is not going to get you very far in Las Vegas, even at penny slots.
Man, it must have been in the late 90s. I mean,
Yeah.
like late 90s.
Yeah.
And I think it's when I went.
It's changed a lot since then.
No, it really has, because it was changing at that point. So much construction going on
Correct.
and all that stuff.
Still is.
And I loved going into the places and all the things they had to offer. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I went to the pirate place, Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. Yes,
Treasure
I've stayed
Island.
there several times myself.
that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But
Chippendales?
What?
Chippendales?
Not Chippendales. I didn't do Chippendales. My mother and my father, my sister and I went to Vegas.
Uh-huh.
They
Because
accidentally
we
went
wanted to take them
Chippendales.
to Vegas.
Sure.
Okay. So we get in the cab and we're going on the way to downtown. And I said, listen, what would you suggest to a group of people who don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't gamble?
This is Las
we don't-
Vegas. Leave town.
We don't do,
You're in the wrong town.
and we don't want to see any risky shows. What would you do? And he says, I'm going to turn around and take you back to the airport.
Exactly, yeah. You're in the wrong town, lady.
That's right.
We do all, in fact, that's our specialty here.
That's right.
Anything
it's
that's
a-
irreverent, yes, it
my
takes place here in
dad
Las
was
Vegas.
just astounded at how many old women were there betting
Oh,
with
yeah.
the money that they'd gotten from their husbands' funerals. And so it was so
incredible.
sad.
Yeah.
But we had a blast. We had a lot of fun, and we went to one show that they said was just totally family, and these guys were wearing thongs, and my dad said, "I just feel like I've been mooned."
I thought I was
300
seeing.
times.
I thought I was seeing a show about the cartoon chipmunks. This was nothing what I thought it was going to be.
No, it was really sad, but it was a lot of fun. But I don't have a problem with gambling, but I certainly see how
You just
that
have a
could
gambling
happen.
problem.
No,
Oh,
I don't
you have a problem with gambling. You have a gambling problem.
No,
No,
I
No?
don't have either one of those.
Okay.
I'm trying to say is that I just feel like I understand now how people get into that and how
Oh,
they
yeah.
could just go crazy. But I'm so inconsistent in my life. There's no consistency with anything, so it doesn't bother me to try stuff like that. I don't try drugs. Unlike what some people see, he didn't even paying attention. He had an end to say something, but no, because I am so inconsistent with everything. I don't think I have a problem. I'd get into drugs at all, ever.
Have you seen the new Sphere in Las Vegas and what the Sphere is?
That looks so good.
It looks amazing, does it not?
Oh, it does. Oh, it
Yeah.
does. In fact, whenever that balloon came over from China and was
Which
taking
one?
pictures of,
yeah.
of everybody, they were doing the advertisement, the Sphere for, and it was funny because it just looked like
You could see it.
what was going around taking pictures of all of us, but it looked very cool.
Yeah, apparently it's reporting like massive major losses. It costs like $2.3 billion to build with all of the screens and technology that goes into that thing. Because it's on the outside of the building too. It's not just the inside. The entire outside of the building is a screen, as well as the inside. And they're reporting like, I think just under $100 million losses for the first quarter that it was open. Yeah.
Bubba.
So I don't know how much longer that thing's going to be around. And part of the problem is the shows that they get are few and far between because most of the artists can't afford to put a show into the Sphere because it requires special software and technology to be able to get all of your stuff hooked up, and it's a massive undertaking. U2 I think is the only show that's been done there. But
Really?
I think there's another band that's like a jam band that's coming. Fish is also signed on for a residency there as well. So maybe between U2 and Fish, it will end up saving the Sphere. But really cool. I want to see that thing. That's the reason I bring it up because I don't know. I might be going back to Vegas this summer. I might be. So maybe it'll still be there by then. But I want to see.
Yeah, I'm
this thing
trying to
'cause
look
looks
it
amazing.
up. I don't really see what it is. Like I'm at their website.
Did you spell it correctly?
Yeah.
Not
And-
Spear.
You know,
It's
they have
Sphere.
tickets available for different shows, but I think what they're doing right now is just some
Yeah.
type of visual show.
Yeah,
not-
well, the things that they're selling are basically like you would see when you go to the aquarium and you sit down or like not the aquarium, but maybe like the IMAX theater where they have basically films about the world and they've got some canned film, but nothing major, no big shows except for you two.
they're closed December 31st. They must not think
Right?
they need that much money.
Well,
Wouldn't that be like a cool thing to celebrate New Year's in the Sphere?
you would think so?
yeah.
You would think so because you look like you're outdoors.
Oh yes, yeah, that would be good. I thought Vegas was really interesting. It was terrible though that you were accosted with all those people trying to hand you pornographic
Correct.
material.
They don't do that anymore. They put an end to that years ago.
So how long has it been since I've been there? Yeah.
Yeah, probably the last decade. They don't run up to you and slap those things in your face.
Yeah.
They're trying to advertise a woman of the night. But
Yes.
that's actually nice because the pictures on there were not appropriate. And if you're walking down the street with your child,
Yeah.
and they're all over because people hold them for a second and they just throw them on the ground. They're all over the ground.
They're all over the ground.
Yeah, that's no longer. But you can smoke weed there.
You can?
It's one of the states where it's legal, of course. So
Well, that makes sense. In Vegas, yes, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think that the dam was amazing. When I
Hoover,
went to-
yes, I've been there with my wife. It's great.
That was so awesome. And how many times he got to say damn and hell. And I mean, our guide used that like it shocked everybody for him to say
Yeah,
the word
like he
damn.
was like his joke was really hitting. Oh, look at this! I'm gonna say damn.
Well, you can imagine how long he'd been doing that same routine for different people coming in there. But that was magnificent. That whole.
Did you ever think
seeing
about
that.
jumping?
About jumping?
Yeah.
What would that be like?
What'd that be like?
That would be so cool. No.
No,
I
me
didn't-
neither.
I
Of
didn't
course
think-
not. Of course not. I just wondered. Just ask me anything.
But I couldn't hardly get near it because that just.
Yeah, it freaked me out too.
Even when I went to the San Jacinto Monument the
Uh-huh.
first time, the very top. Now they don't let you do that anymore. But you go to the very top and you could go stand over and look down. That was too scary.
I can't do that type of stuff either.
But because it makes you feel like it could take you down. I mean, you have a feeling like you're going to fall anyway.
Yeah, it does look like it goes all the way to the center of the earth, especially when the water level is as low as it has been. Last time I was there, you could see marks on the dam where traditionally the water level had been, and it was 30, 40, 50 feet lower than that, and that was a decade ago probably or more that I went. So.
But it was weird. This is what was strange. Going into restaurants outside of the, the buffet. If you go into just a regular restaurant, they wouldn't serve you anything to drink until after it was over. And I said, when are you going to bring the iced tea? And they go, well, you haven't finished your food yet. And I went, but I need that to help me finish the food. And they went, okay, but we don't usually serve drinks.
What kind of place you stay?
And they don't serve they wouldn't serve water because the problem with the water, them not having enough water.
Yeah.
So that was a strange place. But you've never heard of that? The people, they wait till after the dinner and then they drink?
No, I've never heard of that. I think they were trying to get you out.
That's so mean. You sounded like Richard at that point.
I'm just saying, no, that's what they wanted to do, not what I would. I'm just saying.
I never asked you to leave ever.
Never. You never have. No, you never have. And that's really sweet.
Cindy,
because he could.
Would you eat at a restaurant where the servers were robots? Would you be okay with this? Because it's a new trend. It's coming.
No.
No, you wouldn't be
No.
okay with this?
No, not at all. No.
It offends your sensibilities as a human?
Yes. Why would it's not that I want to take anything away from their family and not have, so they couldn't have a job or something like that, because I think that the waiters and waitresses, bring charm and some character.
Until they don't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've ever had a bad waiter?
Yeah, and
Of course.
I showed it in my tip.
Would you tip a robot server?
No, I wouldn't.
But what if you did a really good job?
I'm sorry. Show me the manufacturer, and then I might do it then. But I think we had a big discussion about tipping. Do you remember that?
You just tip them with bolts and nuts.
A little squirt of oil, buddy?
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
Or a firmware update?
Yeah.
We had a big show one time about tipping. Do you remember that show? We talked
Maybe.
about tipping.
I mean, it's always a conversation people have.
Mark was.
Oh, okay. That was way back.
Yeah, that was way back. We had, and because Mark is very generous in his tipping. I not so much.
And then he would complain about he doesn't make enough money.
What?
That was a joke.
No. He was talking about. He says, "How much do you tip?" He asked me, and I said, "The most I'd ever tip would be $5." And he goes, "Well, how much is your bill?" And I said, "Doesn't matter. That's $5 is what I would tip the person." And he goes, "That is so." He was like, "What a stingy person you are. That is terrible." And I said, look, the person that did the most work is the cook back there. The waiter just asked me what I wanted. He wrote it down, took it back, and then he brought it out, and that's all he did. In fact, a lot of times somebody else that brings it out, and I don't tip.
Well, the cook is probably getting paid 4 to 5 times the amount of money that
You
the
think
server
so?
is. Oh yeah, easily. I mean,
Well, I think
most of the servers are getting paid minimum wage, which is different than the regular minimum wage. They get paid like $2.15 an hour.
Well, it's
or
also
something.
it's a lot of restaurants have so many different types of procedures, especially when they tip out. And one thing I never fully understood about a waiter was aren't they accountable for quality control of the food you ordered? Meaning, like, if I order a steak with mashed potatoes and green beans, but she brings me or he brings me a steak with macaroni and cheese and a thing of bread.
Yes.
Like, isn't that on them?
They have
For
to
that
fight
mistake?
it out with the cook. Yeah.
And the fact
Yeah.
that they didn't catch that mistake coming from the
Bringing
kitchen
it
to
to you,
here,
yeah.
I'm like,
That's aggravating.
well,
yeah.
not that, but it's like, I don't want it makes you sound so mean. I'm not going to tip them now that they got that wrong. But like, isn't that part of their job? Like, it's still a job. This isn't like
Yeah.
oh, hey, I'm a waiter because I'm so poor. I can't get any other job. Like, it's a job. Because there's some waiters out there that make $100,000.
What else are they doing for that?
Well, it depends on a high-end restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, because
Well, the service is really
it really changed because
expected at a certain level.
you're thinking back in the day before the civil rights movement because you're still living in that world, and now people think of 20% of the bill, so it's always a 20. And
20%.
because I got in this argument with the bartender one time because I was like, yeah, usually I tip $1 a drink, but if you go to these new bars like 202 Main and stuff where they have mixologists. They changed the term. It's not a bartender anymore. It's
A
mixologist.
mixologist?
And they make you the old fashioned. And now in that industry, they expect percentage wise, not $1 a drink. Because to me, I always got beer, right? So if I got like a beer, $1,
Well, how much does a drink cost usually?
like $3.50 now, $2.50. Like, but I just get it like a long neck, right? And I'm just like, yeah, here's $1 tip. To me, that's fair. But if you apply that logic to any other drink, like you ask for like a whiskey Coke, I give $1. But as the drinks get more complex, they're like, no, you don't just give $1 because I made you a martini. Like, I need more than $1. And I was like, what? Like, you just made a drink. And
now Dick only drinks beer because of that. Fine, I'll show you.
well, I mean, I'm just saying there's like,
my
like the
word.
tipping world is evolving.
$3.50,
It's
35 cents. That's
It's
10%.
evolving.
And if you gave $1, you had given them 70 cents more than they
Oh yeah,
deserve.
but I'm okay with that because that's in my mind $1 a drink, $1 a drink. No matter what drink, it's a flat rate of $1.
Okay.
So if they spend 30 minutes on the drink, which they would never make that drink because I would never pay for that drink because
Right.
it sounds like it's gonna be $100.
Right.
But it's, in my mind, it's $1 a drink. So if I say like I'm with somebody, I'm like I'll do a beer and we want a vodka tonic, $2 tip.
Well,
But apparently that's not the way you're doing it today. I got in trouble for it.
you did.
Oh yeah, people were judging me. But I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
You don't want to be judged.
like all that person did was reach into the cooler, open a beer for me, and that's by law.
yeah.
Like
right.
I would open my own beer, but it's the law that they have to open the beer for you. So it's like, come on now.
This can't be the law.
Yeah, they can't serve.
Can't serve it to you closed. Yeah.
Closed containers.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay.
Which is why when you went to that movie theater a few months back and they served it to you closed, you were like, oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it at the time. They're supposed to serve
Was
it to
it
you
pop
open.
the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, of course.
Well, because it created a scenario for me that I didn't like because I get a bucket of it, and they put the bottle opener attached to the handle,
On the bucket.
like handle of the bucket, and you couldn't get an angle to get it, so I was making so much noise.
Ice is shifting.
I was just like
water pouring
and I'm
everywhere.
like, I just want to get this stupid beer.
I just
up-
want to get drunk, dang it.
Yeah.
And he's screaming in the back seat.
So I asked
back row of the
them.
movie
I was like,
theater.
"Can you get a big gulp?" They have the giant glasses there. I'm like, just pour all the beer in there.
And give me a straw. You ever drank a beer with a straw, Cindy?
Gross.
I never drank a beer.
We gotta,
Okay.
We
Oh.
got to be wrapping up.
Oh,
Okay.
you're wrapping up? No.
Yeah, I'm
that's
hungry. I gotta
great
eat. I have
story.
to edit everything today, and I have to go to work tonight. Like, I got a lot of stuff to do.
Okay.
See, this was a lot more fun than talking politics.
See,
The AMA, you just got to invite me to AMAs.
no. some politics.
We're
you need to
wrapping
say
up.
something. Okay,
We're
okay.
Just not on your
wrapping up.
AMA shows.
All right, I've got to say thank you so
5,
much, Andrew,
4,
Andrew,
You're
for
welcome.
staying with us
3,
and doing this. And first responders, we
2.
love you, we appreciate you, and we honor you. Thank you so much.
Every week, people ask the same 2 questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these 2 questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, 1-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process of helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
We have the safest food supply in the world. Strict laws and regulations restrict the usage of hormones, antibiotics, and pesticides within our food supply. Production agriculture practices and technologies such as the use of GMOs, which is not any more or less risky than conventional crop production, has allowed America